It is a beautiful day. We're out at AOAA and we're gonna do some off-roading. The guys are behind me getting the Broncos ready, and I'm really excited because of the weather. Like, it's fall, the sky's blue, it's not cloudy, it's not rainy. We're going to enjoy it. A little dry. We haven't had rain in a little while, but there is some good water. So we're gonna have a lot of fun. We're the only people in the entire course today, so nobody else is gonna get in our way. And you can see this place, I mean, this is a big parking lot all the way around. So it's usually probably a pretty crowded park, but nobody else. Literally just us, and we have off-road consulting with us, so they're gonna be helping us out, guiding us through the trails. They know where all the good spots are. The first obstacle that we have today is some deep, thick mud, which we're going to attempt with the two-door Ford Bronco as well as the four-door Ford Bronco. The two-door Bronco will be going first. There's some ruts already in the water from where previous vehicles were. The two-door Bronco has 35-inch wheels on it with a 2-inch spacer. Adam is driving it, and like the rest of us, hasn't done a deep mud crossing before, so he's going to have to maneuver carefully so that he doesn't get stuck. Pathways from previous vehicles can suck you in and make it more difficult to navigate. So in crossing mud with a group of Broncos, it's best not to take the same path as the person in front of you. Adam made it about halfway through when he got sucked into a previous driver's tracks and got a little stuck. You can see the truck's literally sitting in the mud. If he goes any deeper, we may have to hook him up with a winch to drag him out. He's just going to keep turning the wheel hard right and hard left to free the tire from the thick mud and dig a wider path with the tire rather than a deeper one.
Stay patient, just keep working it and it'll keep going. The nice part is you're not getting it covered in mud either. As long as you're moving, you're not stuck. As soon as you stop moving, then you're sinking.
Even though you start to panic, the key is to stay patient, and whatever you do, don't stop moving the tires back and forth. At this point, Adam's tires are almost completely submerged, but he's sticking to the plan and continuing to go back and forth for any traction that he can get. And it looks like he's finally getting some traction on the passenger side, but now a pile of mud is blocking the driver's side. Finally starting to move, and all he needs to do is try to get out of that tire path and he should be able to make it through. Anthony is next in the four-door. He has larger tires at 37 inches, and as long as he's able to stay outside of Adam's path, he should be able to accomplish this much faster. When he splashes in, he can tell where some of the tracks are, so he looks not to be having any problems. But right at the end, it looks like he stopped swaying the wheels because he got a little confident and got stuck. Anthony needs to get a grip on the front tires because they are almost out of the mud and may be able to grip the ground and get him out.
Until you get the ruts established, and once you have your own ruts, it won't suck you in anymore. Then you can just drive.
Now it's my turn. I feel a little bit more confident about seeing Anthony go through in the four-door because he went through very quickly, and I'm going to approach the beginning of the mud pit from the side because right now there's two tracks going through the middle, and I don't want to get stuck in them. I really thought the side would have been a little easier, but I got stuck nonetheless. Going back and forth with the wheel is actually harder than it looks. Once I broke free, I decided to gun it out of the pit, which seemed like a good idea, but if I got stuck, it would probably be even worse. Luckily, I maintained traction and made it right through. Now, onto the water crossing so we can wash off some of this mud, although it does look pretty cool on the truck. Oops. Yep. That is exactly what happened. I did get the best time. Made it through quicker than any of them. Quicker than anybody. I made it through. Now that we've got this thing really muddy, we are going to put the snorkel to the test and go across the water. Hopefully. Hopefully we make it. I don't know how deep it is, but we'll see what we can do. We aren't really sure how deep this crossing is, so our guide told us that it's best not to go straight through the first time and to kind of stay off to the side to measure the depth. He's giving me a plan to find a path accordingly. He's also going to act as a spotter in case I get a little bit too deep. He said the water typically ranges from 3 to 4 feet, but they've done some work around there recently and it looks higher than normal. The 4-door is on 37-inch tires with the IG off-road snorkel. The water is fairly clean even if it doesn't look it, and dirty water could affect the alternator more than clean water, not to mention the fact that it also blows belts in the engine. If you've never done water crossing, it's an interesting feeling. At this point, I'm on the ground but swaying a little. It's definitely a fun time and I would highly recommend it. The more I crossed, the more brave I became, going further out each time trying to test the limits. I think out of everything, I enjoyed making a splash most of all. The more I could back into the rocky hill behind me and speed up, the bigger the splash and the more fun I had. Now, when I got to land, I could hear the water inside the doors, and sure enough, when you open the door, it all came pouring out. It also did this under the vehicle, which I always think looks so cool. And just to make sure everything was okay, we checked the engine afterwards, everything looked fine, and I accomplished all the obstacles that I was aiming to do. Out of all the things we did on our trip to AOAA, the mud pit and the water crossing were the most fun. But some of the other obstacles were a lot more exhilarating, even if they didn't look it. Some of the hills we went up and down drove my adrenaline up much higher than these crossings. If you liked seeing us navigate obstacles with our Bronco, make sure you subscribe to the channel to follow along for our next adventure.